Variety is life. Diversification is the order of the day. In fisheries and aquaculture also, we are diversifying greatly from food fish to ornamental fish. The global trade of fish is today about $60 billion. It's happy to note that the ornamental fish, the small colored fish in the tanks of our drawing rooms is playing a big role, and it's about $9 billion. Here is an opportunity for all of us in the SAARC countries to earn so much more from trade of ornamental fish. If all of us, researchers, the entrepreneurs and the fish traders join, it could bring so much more color to our fisheries and aquaculture.
The spectacle of watching multicolored exotic creatures resembling living jewels in a glass container can be a fascinating experience for all age groups. It is no wonder, therefore, that keeping ornamental fish has become one of the most popular hobbies worldwide, and everyone wants an aquarium in their office, restaurant or residence. Ornamental fish farming has now become a lucrative economic activity both in the rural and urban areas. Ornamental fish farming has helped farmers maintain their livelihood or support them with additional business income. Some low-income fisherfolk have even successfully established ornamental fish farming as a small-scale business. The value of international trade in ornamental fish exports has increased at an annual average growth rate of approximately 14% since 1985. The present world trade of ornamental fish is estimated to be $9 billion, of which the total retail trade is about $3 billion, comprising only live animals for the aquarium. The United States of America is the largest market for ornamental fish, importing fish worth over $500 million each year, followed by the European Union and Japan. Singapore keeps the distinction of being the largest exporter of tropical ornamental fish. The vast potential of natural resources amongst SAARC countries like India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka offers great scope and possibility for commercial freshwater ornamental fish production and export. People involved in this trade include ornamental fish breeders, growers, live food collectors, ancillary industrialists and exporters. The ornamental fish species that can be bred and reared for commercial purposes can be categorized on the basis of breeding behavior as live bearers and egg layers. Live bearers release young ones and are easy to breed. Some of the preferred live bearers are guppies, mollies, swordtail and platy. The guppies are amongst the most popular live bearers. There are several fancy guppy varieties available in the open market with different trade names. The molly is available in different varieties such as the sailfin molly, the balloon molly, the white molly and more. The swordtail has many different colorful appearances. There is the red swordtail, the green swordtail, the sunset swordtail, the tuxedo swordtail, just to name a few. Platy is considered the color king of the live bearers. The platy or the moonfish are short sticky fish exhibiting several colors such as red, blue and orange. Amongst the egg layers, the most important group is the family of Cyprindae. These are the goldfish, the koi carps, the barbs, the danios, the tetras and the catfish. The goldfish is a world-famous species for aquariums throughout the world. Many varieties of goldfish that are commercially available in the market are the lionhead, the whale tail, telescope eye, bubble eye calico gold, red cap and pearl scale. The koi carp with different color combinations are attaining importance in aquaria and garden pools in recent times. barbs are the hardiest fish for aquaria. Asian countries are considered as the land of the barbs, since several species are available in these countries. Barbs like the rosy barb, the tiger barb, tinfoil barb are amongst the most demanding varieties. Egg-laying species like the zebra danio, giant danio, Malabar danio are small aquarium fish commonly used to fill up the upper strata of the aquaria. Anabantids, which include the Siamese fighting fish and many varieties of gouramis like the blue gourami, the dwarf gourami, the pearl gourami, the kissing gourami, paradise fish, also add beauty to the aquarium. Cichlids such as angel and discus are other major groups of egg depositors suitable for aquarium breeding. There are many other species of cichlids such as the Texas cichlid, the convex cichlid, the jewel cichlid, the firemouth cichlid, all with fascinating names and appearances which can be domesticated very well. Tetras are small fish 3 to 8 centimeters long, the majority of which have originated from South America. These are the widow tetra, the sarpe tetra, the red-eyed tetra, the glow light tetra, and the neon tetra that beautify the midwater of the aquarium. The live bearers prefer hard alkaline water with a steady temperature of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Males of guppy, platy, swordtail and molly release milt into the female's body through the gonopodium, where the internal fertilization of eggs takes place. After fertilization, the embryos grow into tiny ones within 4 weeks of the gestation period. The females are shifted to the breeding tanks once they get gravid. These females now start swelling in size with young ones. The breeding tanks can cater to an individual fish or a group of them. In order to provide a natural habitat to the fish, submerged aquatic plants can be placed in the tanks. A single female fish can lay up to 20 to 60 young ones, and so aeration in the tank would become necessary since the number of fish increases greatly. For commercial breeding, perforated cylindrical baskets can be provided in series where the female can drop the young ones in the baskets. Soon after their birth, the young ones escape from their mother, emerge from the baskets, and become free swimming on the surface of the water tanks. After removing the spent female brooders, young ones are reared in the same tank. Platy, swordtail, and molly are close relatives of the guppy and have their origin in Central and Northeastern South America. The maturity stage for adult live bearers of platies and swordtail is 6 to 8 weeks, while in case of mollies, it is 12 to 16 weeks. When it is observed that the females have stopped dropping young ones, they should be removed from the containers and reared separately with a balanced nutritional diet for further breeding after 4 months. Goldfish and barbs both can tolerate a wide range of water quality. The brood stock of both goldfish and barbs are separated sex-wise 1 month before breeding. They are fed with a nutritionally balanced diet and with live food once a day. A breeding ratio of 1:1 or 2:1 of male and female should be maintained in the breeding tank. Breeding nests are provided in the breeding tanks using plastic filaments with a 1 foot water level since the eggs are sticky in nature. When golden colored eggs are visible attached to nylon filaments, the broods are removed from the spawning tank and the eggs are allowed to hatch in the same tank. Proper post-breeding care has to be maintained separately for the spent brood fish with a balanced diet. The barbs can also be bred in a fabricated rectangular nylon net with the bottom mesh 5 to 8 millimeters in a tank in such a way that the lower portion remains inside the water. After spawning, the egg drops down to the tank bottom through the mesh net. After 3 days of spawning, larvae are to be fed infusorians for further development for a period of 1 week. After a week's time, they may become acclimatized with the powdered feed and the zooplanktons like Daphnia and Moina for a period of 15 days. After a fortnight, they may be shifted to culture tanks or earthen ponds for further rearing with supplementary balanced diets in order to reach marketable sizes within 3 to 4 months. The brood stock of angelfish are to be kept pairwise in a glass aquarium, and proper oxygen should be maintained with an adequate water quality. Angelfish prefer soft acidic water. For laying eggs, angel tanks are provided with serrated glass plates over which the females lay their eggs, and subsequently the males spray milt over those eggs for fertilization. About 500 to 700 eggs are fertilized after 36 to 48 hours depending upon the temperature condition of the water. A pH of 7.5 to 7.8 is ideal for breeding angels. After about 3 to 4 days, when the fry starts swimming freely, newly hatched Artemia is provided to the tank for the fry to consume. When the larvae reach the size of 8 to 10 millimeters, they may be stocked in cement tanks for further rearing. Gouramis and betas are bubble nest builders. Therefore, the breeding tanks are provided with single matured male and a piece of banana leaf for making a bubble nest by utilizing its saliva. Soon after making the nest, a mature female may be placed in the tank, and it has to be covered with a hard board or any other material in order to make the tank a bit humid. The eggs are laid by the females in the bubbles after chasing and foreplay. After laying the eggs, the male guards them and does not allow the female to remain near the eggs. At this time, the female is removed carefully and the male is allowed to guard the eggs till the larvae reach the free swimming stage for a period of 3 to 5 days. Thereafter, the male is also removed and the larvae are fed infusorians so that they reach the stocking size. Training is an integral part of success for an ornamental fish entrepreneur. For setting up an ornamental fish farm, the minimum land required for a small-scale farm is 500 to 1,000 square feet, whereas for a large-scale farm it should be 1 acre or more. For large-scale farming, large cement cisterns or a few earthen ponds covered with anti-bird nets are needed for species like the koi carps, the gouramis, the barbs and catfish. For fish breeding, a number of tanks with varied shapes and sizes are required. These tanks could either be brick-walled or fiberglass reinforced plastic or ferro-cement tanks. Quarantine tanks, breeding tanks, rearing tanks, brood stock tanks and marketing tanks with a provision for complete drainage are all essential for an ornamental fish farm. All these tanks are required to be kept in cool places, or else shade should be provided in the form of shade nets or fiber reinforced sheets. A good source of water thoroughly treated with biological filters is necessary. Various types of portable water filters can also be used to improve the quality of water. Water may be added to the fish tanks by sprinkling so that the surface remains cool. An aerator or air blower is also necessary to ensure oxygen supply to the fish. Care should be taken to ensure that brood stocks are free from pathogens and are procured from reliable sources. Brood stock should not be allowed to breed for more than 2 years. All new incoming fish should be quarantined from the resident stock. The production of live fish food, especially for the brood stock and larvae, needs special attention. Fish need live food such as tubifex, daphnia and earthworms, as these contain natural pigments. Agricultural byproducts such as oil cakes, rice bran, rice polish, soya bean meal, fish meal or prawn head meal are necessary for preparations of farm-made aqua pellets or granular feed. An ornamental fish farm produce can be exported to different countries provided international airports are available through the region. For domestic supply, the breeding and rearing units may be established near domestic airports, railway stations or bus routes for convenient transportation. A breeder can increase his return by making his production unit more scientific and target-oriented. He should plan to breed and rear more export quality fish.
One can start ornamental fish farming with a minimum area of 1000 square feet. In that, the capital investment will be around $1,000 and the recurring expenditure will be around $500. With this expenditure, one farmer can able to earn around $1,000 per year.
The profit depends on the carrying capacity, species being bred, and the infrastructure being applied thereto. Ornamental fish farming is certainly coming up as a promising alternative for many people, be it the farmer, an unemployed youth, or a businessman. It is thus a much preferred economic activity as compared to other forms of aquaculture, since it requires minimal space and a nominal initial investment.
There is a huge potential and scope in the line of ornamental fish dealing, which doesn't only involve exports but also involves breeding, collection of indigenous wild species, rearing of fish, also exports, which is the final culmination of this trade.
Up to 25% the Indian people are liking to keep aquariums in their houses, and it has become a hobby.
After about several years, we started importing from other countries, and we have the different strains from the different countries. So what we do, we just try to put in a farm and we breed the fishes. So today we have about 300 varieties of fishes.
इधर चासी लोग ब्रीडिंग करते हैं, चासी लोग ब्रीडिंग करके वो साप्ताह लोग हमको देता है, हम पैकिंग करके बाहर बेचते हैं. ये बिजनेस बहुत अच्छा है. Unless the breeder breeds the fish, you cannot export. Then, if it is a small breeder, the grower will take from him, grow them to the necessary size, and from the grower, it will be disposed to the exporter. Now, there is a vast potential for all the SAARC countries.
Ornamental fish breeding and its trade economics are favorable, not just for large-scale breeders, but also for village backyard level breeders.
আমি এই বিজনেস করছি বিগত 15 থেকে 20 বছর। আমার প্রথমে দুটো চৌবাচ্চা ছিল আর গোটা 20-25 গামলি ছিল, এই নিয়ে আমি স্টার্ট করি। এখন 120 খানা চৌবাচ্চা বানিয়েছি। আমরা ব্রিডিং মাছও কিছু করি এবং লোকাল আমরা খাল বিলের মাছ কিছু কালেকশন করে আমরা বিভিন্ন জায়গায় সাপ্লাই করি এবং কিছু কলকাতা থেকে লোক এসে আমাদের কাছ থেকে মাছ নিয়ে যায়। এই করেই আমাদের জীবিকা অর্জন হয় এবং আমরা মাছ গেলে 12 থেকে 15 হাজার টাকা ইনকাম করতে পারি এই বিজনেস থেকে।
প্রত্যেক রবিবার আমরা যাই, হাটে যাই, আর এই মাছ থেকে আমাদের মাসে 1.5-2 হাজার টাকা ইনকাম হয়।
দেখাশোনা মাছের এই ঘরের কাজকর্ম করি আর মাছ দেখাশোনা করি।
It is now certain that the trade of ornamental fish has the potential to contribute to the sustainable development of the aquatic resources in the world, and in particular for the SAARC region countries.